Hello and welcome to the Betting Brothers podcast for week 1 of the NFL season. I'm your host, Joe Nunes, and I'm here with my co-host and brother,
James Nunes.
And we're here to break down the NFL games in the week schedule for the average bettor, look for some betting angles, some tips, some trends, and not only hopefully steer you to the right winning side, but not only that, but to give you some information along the way onto why you should be on that side. We're going to break this up into 2 segments. Right now we're going to go through our best bet segment, and we're going to see how long that runs us. Hopefully not too long, and then we can run down some leans that we have later on, and possibly the big season opener. So let's start this off. I guess I'll start off with my best bets for this week. The 4 games, sorry. I got 4 games that I'm looking at making a bet on this week. And let's break down the first one. The first one I got is the over 49 points in the Chicago-Green Bay game. Now, I like this for a lot of reasons. Like, I know a lot of people are down on the Green Bay offense because Jordy Nelson down, Cobb is banged up, his status is questionable for the week. I understand all that, but it's still Aaron Rodgers, they still have Eddie Lacy. Chicago, they're playing against a Chicago team that's gotten worse on their defense. I just think, and likewise, Green Bay's defense is not stellar as well, so Chicago should be able to score a few points of their own. Also, the last 3 games head-to-head, last 3 games in the head-to-head series with these went well over the total. They went well over 50, all 3 of those. Mm-hmm. So I see the same thing happening in this game. I know Jeffrey's status is questionable, so hopefully he'll play that. Should boost up some more points. But even if he doesn't, I see over 49. Exactly. Even if he does play, they'll probably boost his total up to 51.
The Chicago D didn't get much better than last year, and they were pretty bad last year. So.
Right. And another key stat here, Chicago and Green Bay are both 7-1 to the over in their last 8 September games.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah.
So they always start off the year high-flying, high offense, throwing the ball around, and I see a lot of the same. So I really like that game as my best bet for this week. As for my second game of the week, I'm looking at Kansas City Chiefs. Basically a pick 'em or 1 point underdog, depending on where you get them. Mm-hmm. I don't know, what's your number you got on that one?
1.
You got 1, okay, so same as mine here then.
But you could have got it at 0.5, but
yeah, okay,
I don't
but
think it's
0.5 to 1, as long as you're not going through the key number, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
At least, not so much.
And I like that pick, Casey. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that, Casey, as well. But so what are you liking on that game with Casey?
The reason why I like him is that Casey finished the year very strong last year.
Yeah.
And this is with all their players that were injured throughout the year. They're getting a lot of key guys back from injury to start the year fresh. Plus, after finishing strong last year and having that team gel with Andy Reid, I expect them to come out strong out the gate. But the main reason here is, and I know they're without Foster. I understand that. But let's look at, I understand Houston's without Foster, and that's going to be a hindrance to them. But what's more of a hindrance to them is Hoyer at quarterback compared to Alex Smith. Alex Smith, I know a lot of people like to beat on him and say he's not that great of a quarterback, but he's got a 70% around there winning percentage as a quarterback. And that's a lot more trust I could put in a guy over Brian Hoyer, right? So, yeah, that's why I like KC in this one. I just like the quarterback battle. I think it's going to be too much to overcome, and you're only asking for basically a straight-up winner. I think that's doable for KC. Houston, their defense is going to be strong, but so was KC's. Everybody forgot KC is a very strong defense as well, especially with all those guys back.
Yes.
So chalk me up as my second pick as KC +1 against Houston in Houston. My third pick is kind of a public-sided play here.
Okay. Why don't you let me jump in with one pick, if you don't mind?
Sure.
On one play that I like really this week. This is one of my favorite this week, and you're looking at this Seattle St. Louis game at 1 o'clock in St. Louis.
Right, that was the game I was just going to jump on too.
Oh, perfect then. I'm just so excited to mention about this game. Seattle getting 4 points at home, which already to me is crossing the line at 3, and getting good value on a home team in a division game early in the season. It's against the public perception, which I like, and both teams I think have upgraded. But in this game early on, I think St. Louis comes out firing at home and takes this game.
That's a bold prediction.
And wins this game at home. And I can so see it setting up for the future game when they're back in Seattle.
It is a division game, so it should be tight knit.
Yeah, and last time they played last year, they both played to a 28-26 win for St. Louis at home, and that was again early in the season. I think it was week 5 or week 6 in the season.
Let's go 26.
28-26 for St. Louis, and they won that at home. And in that game, there was no turnovers, and both teams played kind of even, and both teams, like I said, no turnovers, made the game what both teams are, and similar in terms of how dominant St. Louis plays at home, with an even stronger front five now, with picking up Nick Fairley. So now their front five and their defensive lineman is probably the best, arguably, in the league. So I think that's going to be...
I agree with that. Hands down, I agree with that. But I just think you're getting the value there of 4 points. It's the trust factor with St. Louis.
Yeah,
I know it's the public side.
I give you that. I mean, I would say an argument against St. Louis would be going in with no running back already in this game.
I was going to touch on that point. That's kind of why I like the under as well.
So, I guess, like I said, that can be an argument the other way to sway towards Seattle. But I mean, taking 4 points in a division game early with both teams healthy, and both teams can know each other, know how to play against each other, know how to scheme. So it'll be a coach's battle, and I think it'll be close. Give me the points, especially if it's going to pass a key number.
I don't dislike that play, because I do. If I had to lean one way or the other, I would dreadfully take St. Louis.
Dreadfully.
Just because. And I
don't want to, but you know what? I'll take him.
Well, I say this because I'm really not a big fan of Nick Foles, and I don't think that he's...
I am not too, but...
I don't think he's... I think he's a significant downgrade from Sam Bradford. I know they didn't have Sam Bradford last year.
I would give you that, yeah. I would agree.
Okay, well... For one, I'm not a fan of Nick Foles. For two, their running game, like you said, is almost non-existent right now because some banged up guys, and they're probably going to have to rely on a lot of Benny Cunningham in that game. And which doesn't make...
You're not a big fan of Benny Cunningham.
I'm not a big fan of Benny Cunningham.
No, not really. I can see why.
But I asked you to repeat that score in that game. Because that was one of the rare games that went over in the last 10 games between them. They went 2-8 to the under in their last 10 head-to-head games. So that was one of the rare ones that's went over. Another kind of scary. I know you got a spread to play with here, but Seattle's 17-3 straight up in their last 20 versus St. Louis. I know that's straight up, and you're taking 4 points here, but it's something to consider. And they're also the reason why I do like the under is not only the understat in the head-to-head, but also Seattle is 2-9 to the under in their last 11 versus the conference.
Oh, okay, I see.
So they just tend to play tight games. Mm-hmm. Now, getting back to... So my play would be under 40.5 for that game. That's why I like Seattle. It's kind of a public play, Seattle, St. Louis, but I really don't see many points being scored here. Mm-hmm. Just because, Seattle went and picked up Jimmy Graham, it's not going to make them an offensive juggernaut team anymore, all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. You know, they're still going to be based around the same kind of team that they were last year. Now they just got an extra weapon to use that's not going to drop balls. You know, so
I would lean to the under myself. Don't have it as a bet, but I would lean towards the under.
So yeah, 40 and a half.
Both have strong defenses. Both will come after each other. It will keep the game close. You're gonna have to keep them tight, like you said.
Right, and
Can't see it
they're gonna be. It's just St. Louis is stretched, especially when they're stretched so weak at running back right now for the opener. I don't see many points coming from both sides. Seattle's not typically a team that explodes with points. I know they have for a couple of games last year.
Even last year, they've got the yardage in both games, passing and throwing, but still only produced 26 in the first game, which still okay, fine, 20, but 26 and only in 20 in the second game, where they actually won 20-6 second game. So even with that production,
do you know who his quarterback?
It's not that high of a score.
Who's the quarterback?
You should be getting more with that production.
Who's the QB for St. Louis in that game? Do you know?
The second game was Sean Hill, and they lost 20-6. First game, I believe, is Bradford.
Sean Hill. Is he still in the league?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Is he their backup now? I don't know. I don't even know who their backup is to Foles.
To Foles?
Yeah.
I think you're looking at like Case Keenum. It was like one day signed. It was Case Keenum and maybe Austin Davis.
Oh yeah,
that guy played
last year.
A couple of games last year.
Yeah, he had some flashes.
They were depending on Nick Foles, like you said.
You're right. That's horrible.
Again. Well, last year they went 6-10. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 7-9.
Good luck.
Nick Foles.
Good luck to you.
It's not a big great. It's not a great. No, it's not a great record, but it's better than what they did
Good
last
luck to you. Well, do you want to jump in with another one of your picks before I get to my last?
No, you
pick?
go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, the last pick I'm looking at, my last best bet. This one, I'm liking a lot. Well, all of them I like a lot. It's hard to say. They're all,
Yeah.
But I'm liking this one. San Diego is my pick. San Diego -3 at home against Detroit. And I know San Diego is typically not a strong home team, but typically neither is Detroit on the road as well. So they kind of cancel each other out. 3 points is just 3 points is really home field advantage. So it's really should be pick 'em on neutral field, but 3 points, that's what it should be. If you can get it at less than that, because I've seen some places around with a little bit extra juice for a 2.5. But normally it's standard around is 3. I like
2.5. You're saying people should jump then.
Oh yeah,
if you like it at 3.
Well, I still like it at 3. I'm taking it at 3 as long as it doesn't go over 3, because it shouldn't be over 3. It doesn't deserve to either. But I'm just like you said, you're going to come out the gate hard there.
So they're gonna. Yeah, I think I could see them coming out of the gate. It's their home.
Well,
game.
typically
home opener.
Speaking of coming out of the gate though, the last 12 games in September, they're 10-1-1 against the spread.
Oh, wow, even more awesome.
So they typically do get out of the gate fast, and then they usually slow down when the weather gets a little colder and they have to travel a little more. But I think the opening game against Detroit with, I guess you could say they have some issues at running back and issues at anybody not named Calvin. but and like you said, like you went back to picking up fairly. There's a guy that they lost along with Sue, which I think is big key pieces of their, especially Sue, is big pieces of their defense that they used a lot. And to see how those pieces fill in, how their newbies fill in, is going to be interesting. But because of that, I'd rather take San Diego, who has more of their core of their team together from last year. And I think they're going to be a lot better than people think they are, as I gave out as the over in the over-under preseason picks show that I gave. So yeah, that's the reason why I like San Diego there. I'll take them at 3 points.
Come out strong. I agree, and lean at the 3 points, If it crosses now to 3.5.
3.5.
You start to.
It's a no play.
Just
because
it's
too much to pass the key number.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing.
It shouldn't pass 3.5.
What one should know is that you're looking at a half a point.
I don't see the public jumping all over
you
San Diego. Nobody really likes San Diego. I don't see the public jumping all over San Diego at all. So I don't see this being in jeopardy of moving up like some other games are. Like
no, but if it does, that's a key note to know. It's half a point, but still automatically it becomes a no play for you. So it may seem small, but it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So it's something to point out there, you know.
And something to point out there too, something was like, for instance, the Green Bay game I talked about. I was leaning towards Green Bay to cover. I didn't want to put it in best bet because a little bit of factors there. But if you do like Green Bay, then get them now at 6.5, because if Alshon Jeffrey if they announce that he is playing, there's a good chance that number can move past 7. Or
I mean, if Alshon Jeffrey isn't
playing,
that would move up
if
to
isn't
7.
playing, it will move past.
I don't know if he makes a big difference in the number.
I think it'll
but
move
it can probably
at
move
least
from
that
6.5 to 7. Yeah,
or even a full
he can.
7.5.
I wouldn't put it past him. I don't think it would move. I think it's all up to
but
like
I think
how
either way, you'll get extra value.
Bets they're getting
at
in,
least
how
a half
many
point
coming
value.
in. Pardon?
Either way, I think you get at least a half point value by betting them early now if you like them.
Yeah, well, if you like Green Bay, yeah, I think you should. You're already getting under 7. You might as well go. And if you like him, you might as well bet him now.
It's not one of my bets.
Wait,
not one of my best bets, but it's a lean.
Yeah,
it's a lean. I think they're gonna come out strong. Either way, I think that game's going over.
Don't have a strong opinion.
It's gonna be a shootout in that game,
other than a slight lean to be over.
So those wrap up. So getting back to it, those wrap up my 4 best bets for this week. Going into the week, I'll recap them really quickly. Green Bay and Chicago over 49 points. KC plus 1 point versus Houston. Seattle St. Louis under 40.5, and San Diego minus 3. Now, you already mentioned one of your best bets was the St. Louis Rams, the bold prediction of St. Louis Rams. Do you have any others?
I got another small bet on the Monday nighter, first game. Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta, and it's at
this is
plus 3 for Atlanta home.
It's a primetime game there, 7 o'clock at night. I think 7 o'clock start.
Yeah, and I have a
Monday night.
And I have a pick on Atlanta at
Atlanta.
plus 3 at home.
Oh God, Atlanta.
So some of the key factors that I like there is Matt Ryan.
The public for sure. Just let me
definitely 100%. I would think everybody's gonna flush in on Philadelphia. It is now, and they'll probably continue to flush. Which, again, if you like Atlanta, you don't have to rush at betting it at 3. It might even move to 3.5. You get even more value.
Well, this opened at 1, and it's already moved to 3. You think it's going to move even more? Is what you're saying?
I don't think so. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't see it moving down. So why rush?
Right, you're right. You're right.
Is
if
what
it's
I'm
going to
saying.
move,
so and it's because it's a Monday nighter. Why rush?
Maybe it will move.
But
down.
I can see why Monday night. Definitely, if it's 3.5, you will see a bet on Atlanta coming my way. Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, Matt Ryan is typically good at home, right?
Yeah. Their home stats are good.
I just remember a couple of games last year that kind of soured me. That I'm pretty sure I bet, if I'm remembering correctly, there's a couple of games where I bet Matt Ryan at home in some close spreads, like 3-point spreads, and he didn't come through for me. So maybe that's why I'm sour. I do like Atlanta as a lead, though.
Yeah.
You have it as a best bet. I did have it as a lead. It's very close to making the best bet.
A small bet.
Well,
I don't classify bets.
I'm not telling you how much to bet. You're making a bet on it.
Yeah.
That's good enough that you think there's value there.
Yeah, but there is, I think, value getting that 3, opening it up in the first game.
So you're not betting.
If this was, it's funny because it's week 1. Now, if this spread came out and this game came out, maybe in week 10, I might have a total different feeling. If it's and based on hypothetically, they all have the same players going. There's no injuries, both sides. It's the way they are now.
Yeah,
I think I may be leaning the other way, depending on circumstances and what's what are the situations in that game, who needs it more, and so forth. But this being the home opener on Sunday or on Monday night in Atlanta, familiar territory for the offense and defense of what they've got from last year. Not much, though. They don't have much on defense. I will point that out. It could be a total gong show of 35, 38, 42, 40. It could be a gong show, but
you know what?
I'll take Atlanta with my chances in a home opener at home.
So the 55 and the over/under. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not used to playing these high over unders because of back in the day never having anything this high.
But it's been last year was probably higher. You're getting a different era now.
But no, we already had a general feel last year of what's going of the threads, but I can see it going on over. Sorry, I apologize. I can see it going over.
Over 54,
I can see it going over.
Too, you know why? Just because
I'm not telling
so
you to bet. If you could find an angle, and for sure why, I can see angles and arguments of why people want to go and bet it over.
But that's usually a public
at 55.
Play.
I agree.
Monday
I'm not making a play on it. I'm not telling you to play on it. You asked me where I see it. I can see it going over 55. I just told you. I could see it being a gong show, but...
Fair enough. Like,
if you're asking me, okay, James, put a gun to me and say what's your spread on that game, okay, I would say you might get a game of like 21-14.
Okay.
30. You might get a spread. I would say, okay, give it a little bit more, 30-24, but it'll still go under the 55.
I don't know. I don't want anything. I just wanted your opinion on it because I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And like you said, and like you said too, as high as it is, I still have the inkling it will go over as well. Just I'm not going to bet it.
Yeah.
Not at that number, but just because the amount of plays Philly tends to run, and Atlanta too is going to be. I think going to depend a little bit more on their offense too, on their passing game, considering they still got a rookie back there, and when does ever a good runner ever come out of Atlanta? So they're probably going to need some work with him or ease him into it. I don't see him exploding out the gate. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you on the lean on Atlanta, or my lean on Atlanta. Your best bet on Atlanta. Do you have anything else now?
Well, I can talk about one other game. But
so we got St. Louis at plus 4. We got Atlanta at plus 4. Yeah. Those are just recapping your picks. Yeah, Atlanta plus 3.
St. Louis plus 4, correct?
Yes, Atlanta
plus 3.
Gotcha.
And I may be looking at Miami. But right now,
Miami is playing.
Miami Dolphins.
Who are they playing against?
On the road against Washington Redskins at home with the home opener.
The Deadskins.
Yeah. That's what. And what the spread is? What, 3.5 or 4?
I got 3.5.
See, and Miami now on the road favorites to open up.
Right.
3.5, which I do not like.
But it is Washington.
Holding me
back. It's
understandable
because it is Washington. But you're saying, okay, on a neutral field, this would be what 7.5 points? You're saying. Is what you're saying?
That
might 6.5?
Yeah, I think it's 6.5 if you have 3.5 on a neutral field.
That's
and then 9.5 at home. Yeah.
But okay.
I could see it. Again, it's Washington. It depends how high low they're gonna go in. But it's the opening.
What's your reason for Miami though?
My reasoning for Miami in terms of they've massively upgraded on their defense. I think they are going to be able to go past that offensive line and get many sacks and rush Kirk Cousins. I think you're going to look at turnovers that's going to occur in that game, and it's, I think Miami is just going to do roughshod with their defense, get small fields and win that game. You're probably looking at a 24-14 game. Maybe 20-7 game, but I think you're gonna see Kirk Cousins on the run all game, and I think they've upgraded with Sue in the run defense. So it'll be defensive game by Miami, killing the ball with the clock, and maybe taking this game 14-7.
Yeah. See, one thing that held me off from this game, well, aside from the heavy action that's coming in on Miami that pushed that number past the
that I don't like.
That already pushed it past the key number.
That looks really bad, and that's stopping me as well. But go on.
Right, and not only that is, so you're saying if this comes down to 3, sorry to interrupt myself, but you're saying if this comes down to 3, it would be a play for you there.
Oh, I think I would be pulling the trigger automatically. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
I do not like the 9, but what could be the implication is the amount of bets and the public, how much they're loving this game.
Gotcha.
And what do I always say? If the public loves them, I hate them. Right? So.
Right. No, but another angle that I didn't like in this game was that Miami, when they play as a favorite, whenever they've been a favorite of 3.5 to 10 points, so wide range there. In the last 36 games, they're 9-7 against the spread. So they are horrible in the favorite role. I know that dates back quite a while, but they had to be a favorite quite a bit of times last year too, as well as even if they were a middle of the road team. So that's something to be concerned with coming out the gate with that game. I know it's Washington, and all the public is going to want to bet against Washington all year, and you can see that coming. They're going to be the Jacksonville of like 2 years ago, and they went like 2 or whatever, or even last year for that matter. But yeah,
like I said, I really liked it up until the numbers that are coming out and what I'm seeing in terms of the public pushing it hard in the bets. So I'm waiting to see on that game.
Because it's not like
Washington. I don't think if I had to bet, if I had to put, not bet, if I had to put, where I think I'd end up betting, I probably won't take it. Because it's probably going to stay at 3.5 or 4. It's not going to move down to 3, and I won't be touching it.
Okay. So
but again, I can still, like I said, they probably will cover the number. So.
Okay, so does that wrap up your best bets for the week?
Yeah.
Well,
St. Louis plus 4, and Atlanta plus 3.
Those are your two
one
best
tip
bets?
I want to give opening week is some people like to go ahead hard because they missed football and bet like 10, 12 bets. Am I right? Have you heard stories of that and know that? So
don't
I would
go
say
crazy.
Don't go crazy. It's the first week of 16. You have many opportunities to bet. I know there's a lot of betting angles and a lot of betting situations, but I find the best style, especially to open up the year, is go a little bit. Don't put so many bets on so many teams. Go more. You can put more, maybe heavier bets on less amount of teams or less amount of bets, and that's why I'm comfortable with 2 this week.
Okay. That's good advice. And again, with my 4 bets, I'm not going to be betting max bets on all these bets at all. I'm going to go easy to ease myself into it. Okay, but to wrap it up, let's try a little something to wrap this up. Since we have a little bit of time, we'll do a rapid fire rundown kind of thing. Rapid fire, and we'll just go through all the games that we didn't touch on, and at the same time, we just spit out our pick. Okay.
Sure.
And then we'll run through the game.
Go ahead, Armando. Push it out.
I'm with you, brother.
Go ahead. Spit out the first team.
First game. To open the season. Pittsburgh and...
Oh, what a game.
Pittsburgh at New England. Ready?
Game.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Pittsburgh. So we both lean Pittsburgh.
At 7 points.
Plus 7 points. You're right. 7 points and only 7 points or higher. I'm not going to take it at 6.5. It's a no play. Or either way, these are all no plays. Sorry, these are all no plays.
Yes.
These are just our initial reactions to the game.
To the games, exactly. Just
not even a lean. These are not even lean. Just a fun thing to do.
If you like Pittsburgh, just know we're on the Pittsburgh side as well.
Okay, we touched on Green Bay. We touched on KC. Cleveland Jets. Cleveland and New York Jets -3. 1, 2, 3.
Jets.
Jets. I'm a Jets fan. I don't like it though. 3 points. When do they ever win by?
I think they'll cover the 3 points. If not, if you're getting 3 points,
give me
you're getting
2.5,
push, take it.
and I may
if
take
they
it.
push this,
Anyway.
if you're going to minus 3.5.
We're sorry. We're already breaking the rules.
Yeah, you're right.
No talking about why. No talking about why. Okay.
Next. Okay, Carolina, Jacksonville.
Next play. No, Indy Buffalo. Indy at Buffalo plus 2.5. 1, 2, 3. Indy. Nah. Yeah, I don't like it public play.
Yeah.
Washington. Oh, we did that one. Carolina at Jacksonville plus 3.5. 1, 2, 3.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
No, you can't even take it.
Carolina. I'll say Carolina because Cam. I'll take Cam. Okay,
you're looking at +3 though, right?
It's just sorry, I said +3 already.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they win that. I'm telling you.
New Orleans at Arizona -2.5. 2, 3. Arizona.
I don't. I'm not betting it. I just something tells me Arizona wins it.
No
Yeah, you're right.
No explanations. What do we got
Yeah,
left?
screw it.
Oh,
move on,
Battle of the Rookie Showdown. Tennessee at Tampa Bay, minus
easy.
3 points for Tampa Bay. 1, 2, 3, Tampa Bay.
Oh, look, we're on the right side. Is that good or bad?
I don't know. Well, we're not betting it either way.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Next game, Cincy at Oakland, or Cincy minus 3. 1, 2, 3, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
No pick for you. Yeah? Well,
Cincinnati, I gotta say, I had to be rapid fire. I couldn't,
There you go,
the first thing that went through, I'd say slowly eat through.
you gotta pass because I passed on the Carolina one anyways.
Oh, okay.
Baltimore,
Yeah, that's right.
Baltimore at Denver minus 4.5. 1, 2, 3, Baltimore.
See? That's the way.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. And I think that's. Oh, we got Giants and Dallas minus 6. 1, 2, 3, Dallas.
See?
Oh God.
I think that one I may be changing. I spit out Dallas, but I can tell you right now that's hard.
Last game that we didn't touch on, Minnesota at San Fran. San Fran's new stadium opener. Minnesota's got a minus 2.5 point spread. 1, 2, 3, San Fran.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
grudgingly.
Well,
but I'm not looking again. Let's reiterate: these are rapid fires.
Yes.
Not bets we're putting on, not money we're putting on. This is just what we think. Who's gonna win or who's gonna cover the spread? Boom! Right
this
there.
This is just for the degenerates that need to hear something about their team.
Their team, yes.
There you go.
Yes, there you go. That's what we're leaning.
Okay,
that's what we're liking.
So we hope you guys like this. If you did, leave us a link on our Twitter at Betting Brothers. No, what do we got now on Twitter? Actually, on mine. We're using mine right now.
Yeah.
Which is Joey Bats 3 at Twitter. And you can also reach us at our email at bettingbrotherspodcast@gmail.com, or leave us a note on either Spreaker or Podomatic, or we'll be up on iTunes shortly. Just let us know what you like and what you don't like, and if I guess that's it. Never mind, I just cut off my own sentence. So
yeah, just anyways, that's where you can reach us at, and you can let us know what you think, and I guess our bets we put to the test Sunday, Monday. And
yes, enjoy the week of football, everybody.
Finally, it's back.
We'll see you next week for week 2. I hope everybody cashes.